Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule, presented by FanDuel. Today is Friday, May 29th. We're almost to June. We're almost into the, what do they call it? The dog days of summer, fellas.
Still spring.
Baseball. It's still spring for you? Oh, I guess
Still spring.
officially you're right.
So June 21st.
Who decided that?
Mother Nature.
Ben Carson? I don't know.
Wow, who would have thought a Ben Carson reference was going to get dropped on this?
It goes too late for me. Welcome into The Unwritten Rule. It's almost June, and off-season Eli Drinkwitz is back. We had SEC spring meetings, which means inevitably we have to talk about some things he was rattling off and spouting off down in, I forget what, some beach in Florida, right? I think it's
Destin.
down in Florida. Destin. Is it Destin?
They have a lot of scam dollars in Destin, as far as I know.
Well, I think I got confused because I watched him on the Feinbaum clip, and it says I think he's at a beach. So I was like, oh, maybe that's actually the name of the town, but it's probably just a beach in Destin. Anyway, Drinkwitz was spouting off. Said some things and many things. I also am still like kind of in the spring loop and was so out of it when Payton was texting like, hey, are we going to talk about Drinkwitz's comments on the show? I said, I thought it was SEC media days, and that is fully in like 2 months. Not this week. I totally forgot about the spring meetings. But
spoiler alert, we keep hearing that's where we're going to hear an actual update about Ahmad Hardy.
That is true. Yes, that is one of the headlines among the things Drinkwitz said. And of course, he just kind of, was asked about the state of college football, as all coaches are at these types of things. The spring meetings are obviously they have their own, they talk about stuff behind the scenes, but he does a little bit of media availability. The first thing I will remark or quote from Drinkwitz's remarks, college football expansion. He was asked about that, asked about the 9-game schedule as well, which we can get into. But Payton, Kenny, it's interesting. The big two sports at the University of Missouri seem to have 2 coaches employed that are all in on tournament expansion, which is not the most popular opinion. But Drinkwitz, kind of expressed that. Though he did say, he talked about like thinking about it in terms of, is it the best for the sport, which I thought was a little bit, bring it down. But didn't at one point he advocate for like a 30-team playoff?
It was like advocating for something like a 32-team playoff. Like he wanted SEC championship games or like the last games of the season. I don't remember. I'm not going to go back and find it because I didn't agree with it.
And I assume you don't agree with it now in terms of the whole thing is the 12 to 24. Does it double again? We've seen some mock brackets and probably scoffed at said mock brackets. But Drinkwitz would be in favor of it. He said as much, at least this weekend.
Well, he's got to be at Missouri, quite frankly, because it would mean Missouri's going to make it far more frequently than a 12-team playoff. So I get why he has to kind of stay there, say that that's his position on it. I'm anti 24-team playoff. I don't want it to expand even past 12, but it seems very inevitable that it's going to. There's a lot of talk about what that'll even look like. Kirby Smart doesn't even want there to be auto qualifiers anymore. I'm so tired of talking about the playoff expansion. I just want the Band-Aid to be ripped off, and then I want it to just be done with, like whatever at this point. 2014 playoff just feels like as soulless as it could get. You're going to get 8 and 4 teams in that bracket, and I think that's embarrassing. But again, it's not up to me. It's clearly not being made with the fans' best interests in mind, in my opinion. And I know a lot of Missouri fans are going to be for it because they're like, oh, well, Missouri will make the playoff more often. But I mean, good. I don't really get super jazzed about making the 2014 playoff, and it just feels like so not consequential to me. Like the 12-team playoff, that is an achievement, I think for sure. And obviously, you want to be in position to be a top 25 team at the end of the year, and by extension, almost certainly be in the 2014 playoff. But I'm not really for it. I think it would be the most ridiculous thing. We'll see where it ends up because it seems like Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, would rather it go to 16 or 14, while pretty much everyone else is kind of pushing for 24. We'll have to just wait and see. I think Famil said, or somebody said, we should probably know the answer by December. And then we'll talk about it when it happens, inevitably. But for now, I understand why Drinkwitz is saying it, but I'm going to have to disagree with the 24-team playoff.
Kenny, can I throw you a food for thought thing that Drinkwitz added that I do? It was like a saying the quiet part out loud thing. I like this quote where he did say, if you put 24 teams or 12 teams in the playoff, I'm not sure the best team always wins it. The team that gets hot or has the best matchup sometimes wins it. I appreciated him throwing that part out there, that there is, I am still a believer, even though it's harder in football, that if you create more parity, the opportunity for more parity will happen. But, your take on Drink's take there.
Yeah, that's sports. That's how it works at every level. You can go and look at a different sports team. I mean, you can go to 2019. This is one I'll go to all the time. The 2019 Astros, one of the best teams ever assembled, and they lost to a team that was in the wild card in the Nationals that was just extremely hot. I think it's a little bit different on football, though. Like the team that's, like Boise State is not going to make a run in the NCAA playoffs. It's not going to make a run in the tournament. It's just not how it's going to work on that bracket and in that capacity. And, it's the same thing. Did anyone expect Miami to be in the national championship last year? No, I don't think anyone really had much faith in Carson Beck to really make it that far. And Miami did. They made it and they gave, Indiana a game at one point as well. So, it just goes back that it's not always for the betterment of the fans. You can see it across every sport. Do teams in the play-in really make it that far in the NBA? No. Do these teams ever expand
the finals?
Who?
The Miami Heat in 2023, first edition of the play-in. They went to the finals.
What the one example in what did the Heat win it?
They did not. They lost to the Nuggets.
Okay, should we put up the banner that they were the first team to?
I was putting Mizzou.
I'm going to disagree with that. I don't like
them.
The finals is an accomplishment.
Oh no, I'm joking. But it goes into what Mike Elko is saying of, it's okay for it to be hard to make it to the college football playoff. Like it is okay for it to be hard, and I think that should be the case for a lot of schools. For a school like Missouri, one that's not with the same amount of NIL funding and the backing that you might see at Ohio State or Tennessee or Alabama, or keep the list goes on and on. Sure, it might be better to expand it. It might be better to expand the tournament on the basketball side as well. But just for the betterment of the sport and the way we're going, it goes back to another comment that Eli Drinkwitz said is we keep trying to change things and we're not even seeing if the current model works. They're talking about doing NFL OTAs. Now, it was a question that popped up for him. He just said, we just moved to one transfer portal. Let's see if this actually works. Let's try to move through this. Now just keep changing things year by year.
Yeah, I'm glad you hit on that too. That was one thing that was interesting to touch on briefly was, he said he was in favor and liked the one window transfer portal, which I don't know, frankly, so am I. I think if you know the world of college football a little bit, it always feels better to get those guys in your team in January and have your roster set by the spring. I don't care what format of off-season practice you're doing. That's always better. But yeah, you're right. It's how much of this is let's pump the brakes a little bit. And it's probably good that he mentions that. I'm going to save some takes I have about the playoff expansion, but what Payton said about Kirby Smart's comment with the getting rid of the auto qualifiers is really interesting to me when we talk about this with the possible 24 teams. The other thing, of course, he mentioned and probably refreshed some people's memory on, as we start to get closer, 100 days from kickoff for Mizzou. By the way, I saw that. I think that might have been on Tuesday, but we're counting down the days. But of course, we will have a 9-game SEC schedule for the first time. That is something Drinkwitz joked many a time that has taken very, very long to finally implement, and something that dare I say he might not be all that for. I don't remember. I didn't go back through the receipts and see how outright he said that, but I thought this comment was kind of interesting. I mean, he said it's going to be a unique challenge, and it's going to be very, very difficult in the SEC. Of course, it limits how much non-con games you play. They just removed the Cupcake SoCon week. I saw a lot of good compilations on X of like Alabama and Auburn and these teams beating up SoCon teams as a tribute. That's going away.
I'll jump in on that. When's the last Cupcake game Mizzou played? I was thinking about this today.
I have not. I won't
Mexico
include
State
Mizzou there.
2022.
Yeah,
it is. Or you could say Mississippi State last year. I thought that would be a fun thing to throw out there as well. Sometimes you get those late SEC contests where the teams just aren't set anymore, and it does play.
Arkansas the past four years.
I have a quick hit related to Arkansas and scheduling. But it's I'm curious your guys' thoughts on that. If you agree with Drinkwitz, maybe when you think about this for Missouri, you're coming off back-to-back years now where the schedule especially was 1, 8 games and 2 on paper pretty easy for Mizzou, and of course that is going to be different this year. On top of you've got Illinois and a road game against Kansas. You're gonna to make this 12-team playoff. You need to play more of these non-conference Power 5 teams. It seems like that's where things are going. So it is interesting to throw another SEC game in there. That is significant in a football schedule. And Drinkwitz, based on what he said, I don't know if he's in love with it, but it also understands that it's probably not going to change anytime soon, given how long it took to even have it implemented in the first place.
Well, I mean, they probably now, knowing what they know, would not have gone to 9 games. They went to 9 games because there was some sort of kind of like understanding like there'd be something with the playoff, like when they went to 9. I'd have to look it back up.
That's right.
But now like the Big Ten and the other power conferences want to expand again, and it kind of takes away the advantage of having 9 conference games. So now Missouri and other teams are just stuck with harder schedules for no real payoff. And I think it kind of comes at the consequence, really. And I think it is important to note that the SEC, if I'm not mistaken, has the whole mandate, like you have to play one power conference team in your non-con still, which is a good thing. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't see much of an advantage for the SEC playing 9 conference games anymore, like from just a on-the-field standpoint. It'll be kind of good for the fans. You're going to get one less cupcake, more likely than not. For instances, like Missouri will never have a schedule that features like K-State and did they play Boston College in the same year in 2022? And yep, in 21, right? They played or no, who they play besides K-State and non-con? Middle Tennessee,
North Texas,
South Dakota.
Abilene
Texas
Christian
is in there somewhere.
Abilene Christian, Louisiana Tech, 2022.
Okay, who in 2023 then?
Where to rank all these, by the way?
Middle Tennessee, South Dakota. There's another one. I can't remember who.
Memphis in the Dome.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
So I guess they were still going to one power. So yeah, from that standpoint, from the fans, it's good. But I don't know. I don't really have a firm opinion on 9-game schedules. I kind of prefer to not have it, but it doesn't offend me that it is there. I think the SEC is probably a little ticked off now because, again, the advantage to having it is going to be gone if the playoffs expand to 24. But whatever, you got to play the teams in front of you at this point. It makes for quite the viewing looking 2 years in advance at Missouri's schedule.
I think it does alter the regional rivalries, and that's been a question and a conversation for Eli Drinkwitz since the day that he took the job at Missouri. He's been talking about it for the at least last 4 years as well, that with this, so you have 3 games to spare. You have 3 games to use. For a school like Missouri, you're going to play two group of 6 teams. You're going to play an FCS school. That's just how it's going to work out most likely. But I mean, if Kansas is going to be on your schedule, for the next couple of years, if you add them back to the schedule, it doesn't really leave you room to really, boost yourself in any other way if you don't really want to risk it. You can't add another Big 12 school. You can't really play Kansas State and Kansas in the same year anymore, just because you don't have that extra wiggle room with that non-conference, cupcake game. It's the best way to put it. So I do think it kind of changes that. It probably changes for a lot of other schools. There's been games of Clemson versus LSU. Will Clemson not to get to play, other regional rivalry games because, they don't want to overload it as well. You don't want to play 11 Power 4 teams in 1 year just in your regular season schedule. So I do think that kind of can sometimes change an outlook as well.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Missouri's schedule makers figuring that out. I think there will always be an interesting team that wants to play them, and inevitably they will always play a game on a Thursday because that appears to be what their thing is now. So, that's how their seasons will start. We can rattle through a couple more. The new punt rule thing was very funny. First of all, kind of kudos to Eli Drinkwitz for calling out, these Big Ten people who are saying like, I don't really understand how these people are not participating and then complaining when decisions get made. If the NCAA doesn't make these new rules without consulting their most important coaches and committees most of the time, at least regarding like actual rule changes to the sport. And so that part was kind of funny, but then of course he said maybe they'll find a local judge to allow them to use the formation they want, which was A1 Drinkwitz. That's a good quip from him.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I had no clue there was a new punt rule.
Oh, I didn't either. No idea.
And I still don't really know exactly how it works. I know you're supposed to have 2 and 2 on.
I can tell you. I think I can tell you.
How does it work?
I think the whole thing is like under the old punt rules, all 11 players on the field were like technically eligible. And so this rule would make it so that those 4 are not. So you can't sneak like people in and run fun, like go for it things. I think that's from like 5 minutes of trying to read the rule. And so like, cause the whole thing that Drinkwitz said was like, you can't run a play on 1st through 3rd down with 11 players eligible. That'd be an illegal play because your offensive linemen aren't ever eligible. So he was like, before essentially it was like a gentleman's agreement when you were punting, you were punting even though all the players were eligible. And now there's just a rule against that. That's actually written.
I'll have to look more into this. I had not heard anything about this rule or that any Big Ten coaches were up in
very against it. There was one guy said there were 7. I think it was Matt Rule that said they would vote 17-0 to say no. Which I mean, the Big Ten does contain Iowa, so I suppose it makes sense.
Right.
I didn't see this come up at all either, but it is a different rule, of course. But this is like the second time that Drinkwitz has been involved with, a headline with the changing of a punting rule. And it goes back to that 2022 game against Kentucky where Mizzou changed a punting rule altogether.
Let's also not forget all the great punting Missouri has had for the past 5 years.
Yeah, I
Thanks
guess it's
a lot. Eric
does
Link.
Drinkwitz make this comment if Eric Link is still around?
I don't know. I have no idea what Eric Link's opinions are on
saying,
this.
Do you think maybe
whatever his opinions are on it, I would be in favor of the opposite.
Yeah, do you think a weight is maybe lifted off his shoulders that guy is
hopefully we never talk about punting again on this show.
I'll bring it up in the rankings, but that Kentucky game is maybe the angriest I've ever stormed out of Furrow Field. That was I'll give the story on that when we rank those. He didn't quite give a full, like Payton said, update on Ahmad Hardy. Just kind of said he's been rehabbing in the facility every morning at 9 a.m. The thing that was nice to just hear him say again out loud and continue to hear said out loud was, we're a long way away from what the football side of it will be, but his overall health will be just fine and he'll recover. That's obviously A1. But yes, Payton, what you said earlier, he did tease, if you will, that he expects to know more come SEC Media Days. So hopefully football related, we find out some good news at that point.
Yeah, obviously, most importantly is that he'll be fine long term, like just being like able to walk and
Yeah.
everything. But I don't know. I'm not gonna brace myself for good news come media days. They've been very quiet about it. Maybe they legitimately don't know. Um, but I certainly feel like we'd have heard at least a little something if they thought there was a good chance he'd play this year. Um, and again, it was such a serious like injury. I mean, there's no reason to rush him back at all.
Right.
So we'll see. Hopefully, we get good news at media days, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I'd have to think too, Kenny. Like, of course, he wants to have a future in this sport, but I wonder if even he's not quite sure yet. I mean, having recovered, this is just a traumatic experience in general, but then once you can finally get your mind back to football, of course, I'm sure that's his dream and continues to be, and that's the long-term goal. But in the immediate, like, you wonder if even he knows yet what he wants his football future in the next 6 to 12 months to be right now. It's a really difficult situation.
And with these updates, Jack, I mean, what else can we expect? I mean, the reporters have to do their job. They have to ask him,
Right.
Ask Drinkwitz questions. I think Mizzou has done a very good job, and you don't see this a lot with some schools or just even professional sports teams of giving these updates when they can. I'm sure Mizzou will do another, graphic on X, on Instagram that gives whatever update comes next. They were very quick on getting the news out there. What happened to Ahmad earlier this month? They've been quicker to post a video of him working out and being back on campus, doing his rehab and getting after it. I'm sure that'll be the same thing we see. But I also think they won't be so quick to tell you what's actually going to happen. Like you mentioned, Jack, they're going to let him think about it as well throughout this time, because as much of it is, Mizzou's decision, it's also Ahmad Hardy's decision for someone that's coming off a very serious, gunshot wound in surgery that he had. So I think, time will tell. We are into late May, which is already crazy to think, just scheduling wise. This year is kind of flying by. But I'm sure that Mizzou will be on top of, announcing things as well, or, whenever Drinkwitz wants to leak it to one of the national reporters too.
We shall wait and see. The only other quick things I had, I know he was asked about the future of the SEC championship game. That's another, of course, kind of changing issue. People's opinions on that. How does it affect you going into the playoff? You've got the whole piece now of, does playing in it, even if you win, actually, do worse for you in the playoff with fatigue and things of that nature. He said he's in favor of keeping it. I think kind of like what Payton said with the expanded playoff. I think that's kind of what you have to say if you're a coach in Missouri's position. It's another trophy to go out and win, so why get rid of it? Unless you're at the top of the table and always competing for national championships. Missouri is not that, so why would you want to get rid of another opportunity to go win a trophy? Mention the one portal change stuff, and then of course again A1 Drinkwitz goes on Paul Feinbaum, who said verbatim that he's trying to turn him into the new Lane Kiffin. I do like what Paul does now, where he just like sits there and looks at Drinkwitz, and Drinkwitz just has to say something. Like, he has to fill the void of the silence. And I think Paul Feinbaum knows that. And Drink, of course, said, Paul was like, you'd be good on TV, which I think he would be good on TV. And you guys can give your opinions on that. But Drinkwitz then said, if I don't start winning top 25 games, they'll put my ass on TV, which is, of course, a good nod. That's been his knock now.
He's on Twitter a lot.
It's on Twitter.
That is a firmly Twitter-only opinion. That is not a real-life opinion. But
yeah. So, would Drinkwitz be good on TV? Do you think he'd get annoying kind of fast?
He'd be very good on TV.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people would hate him on TV, but he'd be pretty obviously very good personality for TV.
Would he be better than Dan Mullen, just like he was at football coaching?
Yes. He'd be better than Dan Mullen.
I agree. I think he's got a good thesaurus. He's got a lot of different words and phrases he uses.
You don't have a thesaurus either. It's just Payton.
It is.
Yeah, I give Kenny big words that he uses in articles.
I agree. There you go. That's coaches' meetings. He's not shooting himself in the foot anymore. We're kind of well beyond that, which is nice. We'll see SEC media days. There's a lot more talky that goes on. Kenny, maybe in the building for that? No. That would have been fun. Have you guys ever been? No. I went and actually I think I covered for Kenny technically at the SEC Media Days at the Omni in Atlanta. It's fun. I mean, obviously I didn't cover the football team that year, but I got to ask Drinkwitz some questions and ask Brady Cook some questions. That was pretty cool. I remember getting the Harrison Mevis played soccer thing before a lot of people, because I think someone told me that, and of course I had to ask him about that. That was good. So thanks for letting me cover for you, Kenny, all those years ago.
Wasn't my decision.
It was not your decision. I was there and no one else was. They need to send someone. All right. That will do it for Drinkwitz Talk. We will move on and finish the show. We've got some more quick Mizzou things to touch on, including a commitment, which we'll bring to you on the other side in Quick Hits. Okay, Quick Hits time, I guess. We'll go to Jerseys of the Week first. Kenny.
Another baseball transfer for the Mizzou Tigers. Keegan Kohlhoff announced that he's going to enter the transfer portal, 3 years of eligibility remaining. If you want some numbers on it, if there are any scouts listening, 3.33 GPA. Fastball is top 97, sitting in between 92 and 95. The cutter, 85 to 88, topping out at 90. Curveball, 80 to 83, topping out at 84. And the changeup, 84 to 86, topping out at 88. He pitched in 4 1/3 innings this past year, gave up 2 hits, 3 earned runs. That gives you a 6.23 ERA. I assume that means he didn't have any strikeouts this past year if he's not listed in those Ks.
What's a GPA? Is that like a fielding one?
Yes, ground ball percentage average.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Ground ball percentage average.
I was hoping he'd crack right away, and then he reversed it back on you, and reversed it back on me, and I cracked.
Oh man, that was good, Kenny.
Another portal entry for Mizzou baseball. Payton.
Yeah.
Jersey. Yeah. What's your jersey?
Oh yeah. We're gonna go with Taylor Powell jersey. You might be asking why. Well,
Why?
I'll tell you why. That's kind of the point of the show. Because Missouri's playing Troy. For those that
Breaking
remember.
news. Mizzou pitcher PJ Green also announced he's entering the transfer portal on Instagram 3 minutes ago.
That is.
What is his ground ball percentage average?
I'll do the math real quick.
Mizzou's playing
I wish
Troy.
you would have left the screen to go do that. Like it was like that big of
I'm
math.
talking. Mizzou's playing Troy. Sorry, that was funny. Mizzou's playing Troy in
He's got a
week
short
3,
fuse today.
September 19th. Troy is coming to Faroe Field. What time, you might ask? I'll tell you what time. 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 11:45 p.m. Central on SEC Network Plus. Remember when they used to call SEC Network Plus SEC Network Alternate?
Vaguely.
Yes. But isn't SEC Network Plus, that's not on regular cable though, isn't it? Isn't it just on streaming?
Yes, correct.
Because the alternate you could actually watch on like those
Could
small
you?
cable boxes.
Yeah, it was like channel
yeah.
350 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. But, yeah, so there you go, Missouri, Troy. Needless to say, if Missouri does not start the season 3-0, probably going to be in a bad mood on this show.
And Taylor Powell, of course, played for Troy, which is why
I explained that already.
There's a bigger connection here in Taylor Powell.
Chip Lindsey, yeah. Chip Lindsey was the head coach at Troy when they actually injured Kelly Bryant in 2019. So,
when they injured him.
If you guys want some,
who else injured him?
No, I don't.
Do you guys need some quick stats on PJ Green?
Sure.
Let's hear him.
I'd like to know his GPA.
6.59 ERA this past season over 13 2/3 innings. Last pitched on March 15th at Texas. Tallied 12 strikeouts to 17 walks, so not the best line for him in his sophomore season. This comes from his bio on his Mizzou account, and I don't know if it's correct or not, but it has 3 brothers, Justin Franklin, Glenn Green II, and Glenn Green III are his brothers.
Why would that be incorrect?
Why do his brothers have the same name?
It's like George Foreman.
Yeah, George Foreman named all his kids George.
I guess that is how you have to. I mean, I guess there's no rule against saying like the third has to be a descendant of the second. If you just decide to use the same name, that you
Keegan Koloff, by the way,
differentiate
struck
somehow.
out 7 batters this year, Kenny.
Oh, well, why didn't he not giving himself any credit there?
Well, he's too focused on his ground out
Ground ball
percentage
average.
Yeah.
So,
very nice.
but yeah, Taylor Powell Bowl, Chip Lindsey Bowl. There you go.
My jersey of the week. I'm gonna go National Sports
Why are we
Podcast
talking
for
about
this one.
this?
What?
Why are we talking about Landry Shamet?
Because he's going to the NBA Finals. And I thought you of all people would appreciate some Landry Shamet Wichita State highlights. Why?
Because he went to Park Hill, which was my high school.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. All right, that's on me. I was trying to do a nice thing. I screwed up. Oh, look at those Baylor highlighter jerseys. Got a good throwback. All right, sorry. Well, I picked Landry Shamet because I thought Payton would find that fun. I forgot he went to his rival high school. Landry Shamet had a very good game in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. 16 points. He made 4 threes. And the Knicks, 130-93 to close out the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Pretty insane stuff what they've done in these last 11 games in a row. And they're finals bound. I feel a lot better about the NBA Finals than I did with how good they've been in terms of them giving the Thunder or Spurs a heck of a series.
Yeah, also hats off to the Cavs. They showed a lot of fight. Charles Barkley, I know, was really impressed with the effort. Shaq was too, especially. Shaq was lauding James Harden for his performance. So just a tough break. You know, the Knicks are really good, but that Cavs team, boy, they looked like they were. I mean, they analytically won 2 of the first 3. So it's really tough to see them get swept. One of the most even series I've ever watched.
I will point out too, that series kind of gave me like flashbacks to Brewers Dodgers last year. Payton, you know, that Brewers team tried really hard against the Dodgers.
They were so close. Just a couple balls bounced their way. You know, that series was so close. I think the Brewers led a total of 0 innings in that series, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
All jokes aside, I don't have any memories of that series. I have like little stills in my brain of someone.
I did not watch
and that's it.
a pitch of it. I couldn't do it after the DS.
You didn't miss anything.
You know, regular season Warriors.
I like no capping. He's the main bird.
Milton, who do you got in the finals?
I have the Thunder winning.
Okay. Noted. We'll revisit this. Okay, Kenny.
Yeah, take it away.
Oh man, this isn't good.
Kenny can just host the show from now on.
Why is this not
man.
good?
I had a bird connection and I just realized it's not a bird connection at all.
Oh no. Disaster.
I don't know why.
What did you think it was?
I don't know why. It was just like, Cincinnati. There's my bird connection. There's no birds. They're not. There's no connection.
What is Cincinnati tied to this?
So Dami Sowunmi.
Yeah, tell us what your bird is, and then we'll figure this out.
My main bird of the week is Dami Sowunmi, who committed to Missouri here on Wednesday. Football player, defensive lineman. First commitment for Chop Harbin, new defensive line coach. So him and David Blackwell get their first interior guy in the class. But he chose Mizzou over Kansas State and Cincinnati. And when I was putting together my quick hits, I saw Cincinnati and I just went bird. I don't know why. There's no bird connection.
One of their biggest rivals is Miami, Ohio, and they're the Red Hawks.
That's not why, but I'll take it. Thank you, Payton.
Or Louisville.
Yeah.
No.
Right across.
They play for Keg, I think.
Keg of Nails?
Keg of
Charlotte?
Nails. Yep.
Yeah, that's not them.
That's not them?
It might be them.
I think that's
Okay.
them.
Scott Satterfield, the coach at Cincinnati, was the coach at Louisville.
There we go. There's my connection. A little bit of a surprise by the timing. Maybe not too surprised with where Mizzou is kind of trending with this one. Offered him back in January. Chris Ball, assistant linebackers coach. He's got some connections through Indiana. He's done a lot of recruiting in the state, in the Hoosier State. Offered Dami. They got him on campus pretty quickly. So they got him January 7th. He visited on junior day on January 31st. Got back for a spring practice in March. Already had his official visit scheduled with Missouri. It was the first one he announced for June 5th to the 7th. And then he was ready to announce it. He said both Coach Blackwell and Coach Chop Harbin were pumped and excited for him to be on the Tigers. They were really he was just really looking forward to just like developing as a defensive lineman. He liked the recent success. I mean, you point to Chris McClellan, seeing him go in the NFL draft. I can put a lot of eyes on the defensive tackle room for Missouri. And, seeing guys that have a little bit longevity into college side as well, even the guys that were mainly transfers appealed to him. And he said he's going to try to he's planning to cancel his other official visits. He hadn't officially done it yet when I spoke to him, but he sounds like he's pretty locked in with Mizzou.
Exciting addition on the defensive line. Number 764 overall, 3-star recruit.
Coach Harbin showing his recruiting chops.
Yeah. 10 commits now, Kenny, in the 2027 class for Mizzou.
Yes.
Feels
Mizzou
like a
is,
lot for this time of year.
Yeah, there was 2 last year before the first official visits. And
I was thinking like Ryan Justice and Whit Hafer, and then like a black hole for like 6 months.
29th in the country, 12th in the SEC on threes rankings. Yeah. Nice. Good addition for Mizzou. Payton, your main bird.
My main bird of the week is going to go to the Mizzou women's golf team. You might be asking, what's the bird connection? Well, they were in this tournament with other birds, including Eastern Michigan.
Stanford
Cardinal, yes, thank you.
Tree.
But the Eastern Michigan Eagles are also a bit of a Cinderella. They made it to the match play portion of the NCAA championships. Fortunately, Missouri did not make it that far, but they did have their best finish in school history. They finished in 12th place in the NCAA championships. Had they placed one spot higher, they would have gone into the match play portion, but they were a few strokes back. So still a great season for them. Tied for 12th. I believe SMU tied them at 12th as well.
That is pretty awesome. Again, great to see Mizzou thriving in a sport that they haven't been traditionally, high level successful in, especially in this era. Hopefully women's golf can build a little bit for the Tigers. Congrats.
23 over for Mizzou, by the way.
To them. There you go. All right, my main bird of the week is going to be Hunter Yurachek. First of all, my bird connection, Hunter Yurachek. He is an athletic director. Right now, he's the athletic director at Arkansas. He was the athletic director at, say it with me, folks. That's right, Coastal Carolina. Back from 2010 to 2015. There's my bird connection. Payton already brought up Mizzou's game time against Troy. Hunter Yurachek's not so happy about his team's game times. He issued this statement. Very, very angry that they have to play their game against Utah and then turn around and essentially miss a day. So he said, ESPN has set our game for Utah at 9:15 p.m. Central Time on September 12th. Shocker, you play a team on the west side of the country late at night. We anticipate returning to campus at approximately 6 a.m. Sunday, September 13th, followed by an 11 a.m. home kickoff against Georgia just 6 days later on September 19th. Poor Arkansas. They're going to lose a whole day of rest, and their AD is not happy. I think we need to drop everything and fix this.
I like Hunter Yurachek. I really do. He is an entertaining AD to follow. I'll leave it at that with him.
As a result, he has disbanded the men's tennis program because they need some more money to get a day off.
Again, yeah.
Then he's going to put out something in 2 weeks saying that the tennis program is back.
But before that, he's going to be like, oh, by the way, there's a rain delay for the men's tennis program match. Here's the new time. And everyone's going to be like, dude, you disbanded it. I don't know that Kenny recognizes what I'm talking about, but Knowlton does.
I missed a part of these. I only saw the announcement and then when he brought him back.
Yeah. No, I get, you got to go to bat for your school. So I do get it, but I don't know. Being an SEC team complaining about this kind of doesn't.
Somebody call.
You're not going to get very many sympathy replies out of that.
Somebody call the Wambulance. Best thing you learned, Peyton?
Best thing I learned this week, and I'm sorry to frame it that way, but I mean, after you go 6-24 in SEC play, changes got to happen. This is from Kendall Rogers. Sources: there's an assistant opening in the SEC as Mizzou baseball hitting coach Bryson LeBlanc, who has spent the last 3 seasons at Columbia, will not return to the program, I'm told. Missouri's search for a new hitting coach is wide open. So this will be the second staff change, like major staff change under Carrick. They, of course, changed pitching coaches last year, and it did, I would say, paid off. It looked certainly like the arms were more competitive this year. Obviously, Javen Pimental getting hurt in the middle of the season did not help things for them, but they were a much better pitching unit, all told. But now looking for some change in the lineup.
I threw Kenny's name into the ring as a potential replacement.
Bunt, hit and runs.
Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that.
Are you
stance.
doing it? Okay, he's pretending.
Can you do the Josh Hamilton? I always liked Josh Hamilton's batting stats.
That's really good, actually. I'm
that is
impressed for those watching on the YouTube.
Who always just held it on his shoulder? Who was that?
That's a lot of people. Have you ever seen Craig Counsels?
There's a notable one. I don't know who that is.
You know who Craig Counsels is. That's Euclid, Kenny just did. Greek god of what, Kenny?
Walks. The reason I fell back into my chair is I got a cramp in my leg when I was trying to do the bag well.
Oh, I thought that was part of the bit.
No, I like got a cramp in my
I wish you were
hip.
unmuted for that.
Yeah,
Kenny,
I went,
if you were a hitting coach, Kenny, what would your philosophy be?
I don't care how hard you swing it at strike 3.
Okay, so real 1970s, let's hit 300 guy.
What does he do, Jack?
He gets on base.
It's on base.
There you go, Jack. That kind of flies in the face of what you just said. Why don't we move on?
He wants him to swing it hard at strike 3. I don't get it. Kenny, what'd you learn?
So this tweet comes from Ian Begley. Knicks are also hosting USF's Isaiah Nelson, BYU's Keba
Keita, good player.
Keba Keita, and then Missouri's Mark Mitchell and
Also good player.
Akron's
Any relation to Yaya?
Amani Lyles.
Any relation to who, Peyton?
Yaya Keita.
I actually think I looked this up once, but I don't know.
Yaya Keita played basketball this year. Where did he play?
Oh my God, not in college, did he?
No, he played in college this year.
Oh, really?
Oklahoma.
Nope. Oklahoma he spent 2 years at Oklahoma, then had a gap year, and then he
is it D1?
It is D1.
Is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Old Dominion.
No.
UNC Asheville.
Nope.
Central Connecticut State.
You're getting closer, Jack. Not by conference, but by region.
Maryland Eastern Shore.
Nope. Further
north.
Yes.
Kenny,
you should know this.
Delaware State.
Oh, Syracuse.
UMBC.
Oh, but you're Kenny's closest right now.
Oh, Lemoyne.
No. You're like it's in that western
Albany.
College.
Albany.
Yes, he was a great
Boom!
He played 13 games, started 4.
I wanted Mizzou to get one of his teammates. Listen.
Yeah, I did not. But you did.
I'd like to defend myself a little bit. Mark Mitchell is just he's a really tough prospect to project, but he undoubtedly has some skills, and I think will benefit from this draft as well being a lot thinner. You have more guys. I mean, that's just how drafts are going to go going forward because guys are just going to want to come back to college. We'll see. I don't expect him to hear his name called in the top 60 picks, But you never know. We still have a little bit of time till the draft. It's not for another month. Prospects can gain some hype. He will end up on a team. He will play summer league, and we'll see if he can earn a two-way from there. I have no doubt about that. Just because you go undrafted doesn't mean you can't earn some opportunities. But yes, I will say I am not overly confident in it happening, but I'm glad to see he's going on visits.
Well said, Jack. Bonus quiz on your 21-22 Tigers. Amari Davis played one season after his season at Missouri. Where was it?
Eastern Kentucky.
Eh.
Who went to Eastern Kentucky?
Well, Kurt Lewis came from
Kurt
Eastern
Lewis
Kentucky.
Came from there.
Oh, man.
Horizon League.
Oh, he went back to the Horizon League. So he was at. Did he go to Northern Kentucky?
Nope. He didn't come from there either.
I looked it up.
Wait, I can get this. He didn't go to Oakland. He didn't go to UIC. He didn't go to
That's because UIC's Missouri Valley.
You're right. He didn't go to the one in Detroit. He didn't go to
That's mercy.
Wright State?
It's
Wright State. He was a Wright
Oh
State.
my gosh, I had such
told
a good
you
hint.
that.
I had a good hint.
What was it?
It's the opposite of wrong country.
LOL.
You were so excited.
Oh my gosh. By the way, Knowlton, here's a bonus question. Did he shoot higher or lower than 7.2% from three this season?
Oh my God.
The answer's lower.
I hope higher, but yeah.
7.1% from deep.
We've come a long way.
I missed Amari Davis.
I hope Mark Mitchell proves me wrong. I hope an NBA team takes a swing. The best thing I learned, this is my continued march toward having soccer on the show in some capacity until the World Cup starts. And boys, we got our squad. This is a useless set. No one can see it now. They're just looking at my stupid face. We got our squad for the U.S. men's national team for the World Cup. Very exciting. Mauricio Pochettino and company. They'll hit the field June 14th. Is their first game. It's coming right up. We are right around the corner from the World Cup getting underway. Very excited for this one.
They've done a bad job of marketing this thing. I didn't know it was that close.
Yep, it's coming right up.
Wait, this year?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions about the roster?
Is Sebastian
Berhalter the
Berhalter?
greatest
Sebastian
player ever?
Berhalter is on it. Yes.
Is that his son?
That is his son. So both him and Gio Reyna, who had a lot of drama himself, which I believe I talked about on this show, they are both on it. They are both playing.
Where is Gio? I don't see him.
Is Gio Reyna
number
going to play
7.
this time?
Yeah, he should play. He's not going to be leaned on, I don't think, as one of the like A1s, but he'll play.
Is Christian Pulisic still the greatest player ever?
No.
Dude,
there is a world where
against Mexico in the CONCACAF.
I'll give you guys a name. Malik Tillman. Malik Tillman is a guy who I think could become more popular than Christian Pulisic after this World Cup ends.
No way.
On how it goes.
Pulisic is the best.
He's not bad. I'm just throwing out a take for you.
Yeah,
Just stew on that.
Are we going to make it out of group?
Yes, I think so. The one thing I will warn about our group, it's going to be boring, gross soccer. The teams they're playing are like Panama is super defensive, Australia is super defensive, and they're going to have to play. They avoided Turkey. Why am I forgetting the last one? But those two at least they're going to try and draw 0-0. It will be some grimy stuff at the beginning of the tournament, but is what it is. I'm excited.
I'll be watching.
I hope everyone watches. It's here. It's exciting.
I'm not going to a game, but I will.
Well, no one's going to a game because you can't.
At this rate.
Damn expensive.
I will point out.
Turkey. Sorry.
Do you guys remember? I don't know if it was Bleacher Report or ESPN after the women's team
I know
won
exactly
the World
where
Cup.
this is going.
This graphic looks eerily similar in design.
Oh,
to that
with
graphic.
Can you find that graphic quick?
Oh man, that was
Insane.
rough.
What were they thinking? It was
Yeah.
like they were just thinking of putting the first people they could think of on.
That was such a rough. That was such a rough one. Did you find it? No. I know people tweet it. There at least once a year people post that, and it comes back.
Oh, I found it. Sorry.
I remember.
I
like
love how
Stone Street
Friends are in it.
Yeah,
Who the
Friends.
Friends can.
Isn't James Harden in there?
Iron Man is in it.
Can you put it on screen?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it next to it so you can do a little comparison.
I mean, this thing got literally deleted by Bleacher Report.
Yeah,
they were
this
so
is
embarrassed by the
just such a
blowback.
funny.
Oh my gosh, Iron Man is on.
Oh my God, that's Travis
Travis
Scott.
Scott,
in an
yeah,
That's
in
Astros
an
what I,
jersey.
I
Astros.
couldn't tell if it was
Yeah.
him or not.
In an
Right
Astros
next to
jersey.
Cam and Mitchell from Modern Family. When you guys think America, not far down the list
is
is going
such
to
a
be Cam and
funny-
Mitchell from Modern Family.
Who's this in the middle? Is this
That's Kendrick Lamar, isn't it?
is that Kendrick Lamar? Okay,
I believe
yeah.
so.
Who's this next to him?
I don't
That
know.
is I always forget. Stu Holden is his name. He's a men's soccer player.
Ellen right next to LeBron. What in the world? I'm sorry, dude. What were they thinking?
No, this is terrible.
Is this Baker
Will
Mayfield up here at the
Ferrell.
top?
I think so. Yeah,
That Baker
I think
Mayfield,
that is
right?
Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Old
Old Tom Cruise, Top Gun Tom
Old
Cruise.
Tom
Oh
Cruise.
my lord.
Pulisic is in
Man-made
there.
horrors beyond our comprehension. Look at this thing.
Is that the kids from Stranger Things? Are they over there on the two to the right
No.
from where your cursor
That
is?
is definitely to the right of Michael Scott.
Michael
Oh my
Scott.
gosh, it is.
Aren't
There's
those the
two of
kids from
them.
Stranger Things.
So two
Why
of
those
the
two?
however many there are.
So funny.
Neither of them are 11.
Oh, Brad
I
Pitt
think is the
made it.
most
MIZ.
popular.
There's our Mizzou
Brad Pitt, and
connection
then
to this.
his ex-wife is up here.
Oh
This
yeah,
graphic sucks, dog.
yeah. This is a rough one.
It's so bad.
Hopefully they recreate it if the men do something fun this summer, just to give us all a laugh. All right,
I
Let's,
love that. That's so awesome.
let's shift to best beats of the week, presented as usual by FanDuel. Payton, you want to go first?
Yeah. Also, shout out me for having Jalen Brunson already be named MVP of the ECF.
Oh yeah, good job, good win for you.
I'm gonna just take a free point basically, and just kick the can down the road. Like I'll get points for this later. I'm gonna take the Dodgers minus 100,000 to make the playoffs. It's pretty much no risk here. I'm shocked this was even like on the site, but I feel pretty good about them making the playoffs. So
Can I say that this is the type of shit that I was doing before that got eventually banned.
No, it isn't.
No, this is not comparable to betting on
It's the
Iowa
same-
games.
It's the same thing. Literally the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, hey, if you can do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Kenny are taking opposite sides of our beats this week. You want to try to talk about it, Kenny?
No, I can't even name a player on Arsenal. You asked me who I wanted, and I said Arsenal.
Is Christian Pulisic on Arsenal?
No,
No,
he
he
was
was
in like
on Chelsea.
Italy or
But he plays in
Is he on
Italy.
Chelsea?
He was. He plays in
What
Italy.
happened to that?
He transferred to
he
Italy.
left.
Is he not good anymore?
No, that was
No.
a smart move. Chelsea suck now. He's been fine. He had a better year last year. The Champions League final is this week, and it's on Saturday, 11 a.m. That is the biggest club competition you could win. It's the best two teams from that competition in Europe, and it will feature, as Kenny said, Arsenal and PSG. I asked Kenny who he would like. He picked Arsenal. They are plus 210. PSG plus 130. I will be taking them. I feel pretty good. Arsenal did just win the Prem. And if they winning both competitions, if you're an English team, winning your league and winning the Champions League is a huge deal. So that would be pretty major if they could do that. But PSG are a wagon. That team is PSG is almost single-handedly supplied the French national team for this World Cup with their forwards. They are really good. Scary. It's almost the opposite styles kind of thing. Arsenal's really good defensively. They lock it down. They score off corners, Kenny. I think they broke the record this year in the Prem for the most goals off of corners. That's like a big thing for them. So maybe they get it done. You've got them plus 210. I've got PSG plus 130. That's best beats.
I thought PSG was like really bad.
No.
I thought they were always good.
I'm thinking of Tottenham. Tottenham's not good anymore.
Tottenham is not good anymore. They did avoid relegation. Peyton and I talked about that in my obligatory soccer segment on a Monday show.
He didn't listen.
I did listen.
I
messaged. I said, okay, let's go back to the group chat.
I thought you said he didn't. I thought Peyton was saying I didn't listen. I didn't know if you listened, Kenny.
No, I'm talking about Kenny.
Oh, I don't know if Kenny listened.
Look at this. Monday, 7:48 a.m. Monday, 8:08 a.m. Monday, 8:18 a.m. Monday,
you're just saying days and times.
Those are all times where I sent text messages into the group chat about the show.
Yeah, because apparently we just read the group chat messages now.
Yeah.
Finish the show, Peyton.
This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show. Guys, did you hear about the man who cut off his left leg?
No.
Kenny, did you hear about the man who cut off his left leg?
I skipped through that.
Don't worry. He's all right now.
I
knew something right, but I couldn't think of it. I couldn't get the right.
Kenny, that's an Arrested Development. We should have got that when he loses his hand.
Oh my gosh, have you guys ever seen the scene in that show? Oh wait, no, that's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Never mind. Sorry, I was about to recite a Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He was about to say, remember the scene in that show where they hang out in the police station?
I literally was going to be like where they have the police line up and they make them sing Backstreet Boys.
That is a good Brooklyn Nine-Nine scene. Kenny, you don't remember that reference from Arrested Development where Buster loses his hand and the doctor?
I remember the scene, but I don't remember.
He gets his hand bit off by a seal, and then the doctor is like, he's going to be all right. And they're all like, oh, thank goodness. And he's like, wow, I wouldn't react to this news so positively if I were you. And they're like, you said he'd be fine. No, I didn't. He lost his left hand, so he's going to be all right.
It was by Lucille.
He got bit off by a loose seal. He has another one about George Sr. that I can't remember. Anyway, that'll do it for the show.
2019 Chicago Cubs of the week.
Are they going to win again?
I love this game. Can I try and guess them?
No, but we were walking through Chicago. We were walking through Chicago, and Aaron asked me who is Ben Zobrist. Long token cigarette. Man. How much time?
Who is Ben Zobrist? The real question is who isn't Ben Zobrist? To me,
unfortunately,
my idol. I don't know. There's like that whole spiel I could do about him.
Unfortunately, I had to tell Aaron what happened to Ben Zobrist's career.
Yeah, very unfortunate and undeserved end. Can I guess a 2019 Cub of the Week? Do you have one pulled up?
It was Ben Zobrist.
That's boring.
Well, that's it.
It's his segment. Let him do his segment how he wants to do it.
It's not as good as 2019 National of the Week. That's all I'll say.
I'm indifferent. Thanks everyone for watching, listening.
I by the way, announcement time. After 2019 National of the Week is concluded, we're going to flip a coin every Sunday, and we'll either do 2018 Boston Red Sox of the Week, or we'll do 2025 Los Angeles Dodger of the Week.
Oh.
I don't like this segment. Kenny's is better all of a sudden.
Maybe we'll do 2018 Boston Red Sox moments of the week, because I know Kenny actually likes a lot of those players. But one moment I know he doesn't like is Bregman hits a liner to left field. Diving Benintendi makes the
get. That was a timely mute. Thank you everybody for watching, listening. We will see you all in the next one.